everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a plan with me for the week of August 10th. I can't believe we're already in August, guys. But as you guys may notice, I am in a new planner. So let me quickly show you guys what my August spread looks like. I used a kit from, or not a kit, I used the sticker book from Erin Condren, the designer sticker book, to create my monthly spread. So I keep this sticker book tucked in here, and I also like that the rose gold kind of matches with the planner cover, so to speak. So I picked up the sugar coral one with the gold hardware. This is an A5 planner, an A5 wide planner, I believe is the size for it. I have to get a hole punch so that if I ever get inserts or things that I want to add in, I can just, you know, hole punch this thing. So I don't have that many accessories for it. I'm pretty much trying to use what I already have in my collection. The only thing, like I said, is I ordered these inserts from Caress Press, which did come with this beautiful like bow vellum paper, and then the inserts that I have in here, like the weekly inserts, these are also from Caress Press, but I have a few that are basically the same thing from the Aura Estelle planner. And then here I have my lovely pen from Shop Villa Beautiful, and let me show you guys real quickly. It's like a mint green with peach, with some like mint green little gemstones and peach gemstones in there, and gold hardware. So I keep that in there. Yeah, so let's stop rambling and let's get into the current week. I really like this planner because it has the rings in here, so I can just, you know, I can pretty much start this planner whenever I want. So I'm starting it in August, so I'm technically kind of doing like a school year start to it. But you know, so far I like this planner. So this is going to be a chatty plan with me. I may fast forward through some of the setup, but I had asked, you know, what you guys wanted to talk about during the next plan with me. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about my military experience and then my teaching experience. But let's talk about the kit that I'm going to use today. This is from Scribble Prints Co. And this was the May mystery kit of this year. And it's just a really pretty, like, beachy pastel kit. And I just really liked the colors. Very soft. It has like a kind of like a tie-dye background. And I get the ultimate kit for the mystery kit, so it does come with all of the add-ons. I don't remember what the foil was that it came with, but I did pull out some foil here. I have these like mermaid silver foil overlays from Sadie Stickers, and then a few Scribble Prints Co. And I am going to use like this star overlay, but I'm not going to use too many overlays for this kit. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and try planning in the ring bound planner, like laid out just like this, but I may end up taking out the inserts a little bit later on, but we'll see. So I do have my lovely cup of coffee here. Let's take a sip, and then I'm gonna pull out my pre-planning pad from my Simply Gilded. I have my pre-planning pad here, and let's get into it. So, military experience. Where should I start with that? So, I was in the military 6 years active duty and then 2 years in the reserves. And I was a Russian linguist when I was in the military. Ooh, I got out in 2014, I believe it was. 2014, I think, is when I got out of the military. I joined in 2008. I was stationed in California. And this kit honestly reminds me of the time when I was stationed in California. I was stationed in Monterey, California. And that, if you guys don't know where Monterey is, it's basically right near Santa Cruz. It's a peninsula, so it basically mimics San Francisco. It's about, I want to say 2-3 hours from San Francisco, if I remember correctly. It's about like an hour from Santa Cruz, an hour and a half from San Jose. I'm going to go ahead and lay down my date covers as well. Yeah, so it's like an hour and a half from San Jose. I used to go to San Jose a lot because there's actually a lot of Hispanic food out there. And while I was out there, I discovered this lovely Peruvian restaurant. And if you guys don't know, I am from Peru, and Peruvian restaurants are kind of hard, or at least they were kind of hard to find. They're not as common on the East Coast. On the West Coast, I found so many Peruvian restaurants. I found one in San Diego. It was actually like a Peruvian Brazilian restaurant. I found a few in San Francisco. Of course, in LA, you can find anything in LA. But on the East Coast, they're a little bit harder to find. I live in Maryland, and when I was younger, I used to have to drive to Virginia to go to like a really nice Peruvian restaurant. So it was really cool finding a restaurant in San Jose. And I used to go to that restaurant so often, and I used to take like a lot of friends there and things like that, because when I was living in Monterey, because I basically lived in the barracks when I lived in Monterey. So I didn't really have access to a kitchen and things like that. Unfortunately, I couldn't really cook or do anything while I was stationed out there. So I used to eat out a lot, and, of course, eating in the chow hall and all that fun stuff. But yeah, when I went back with my husband, my husband did some training out in Monterey, and I decided just to take some time off and go out there with him. I don't know what shades to use. I think I'm going to use these more pastel-y shades. So, because I feel like it's just too bright. I feel like it pops a little too much. So anyways, yeah, when my husband did some training out in California, it was in Monterey. It was like a conference that he had out there for I think it was like a computer forensics conference out there. I was like, yes, I am going to go with you, because when I was stationed in California, it was, when I was going through my language training, it's the Defense Language Institute in Monterey. I was learning my language. I was a baby. I was 18 years old, and there's a lot of wineries and things out there and breweries, and I didn't get to experience any of that when I was stationed out there. So when my husband and I went back years later, it was really nice, because he honestly was at the conference and I was doing like these wine tours by myself. It's a pretty small town, so you could honestly walk like everywhere. And then they do have, like transportation that takes you out to some of the wineries. And when I went back, Uber had taken off, so you could just Uber anywhere, because I remember when I was stationed there, you had to take a taxi everywhere. And we used to basically split our taxi fare all the time, because, we were fresh into the military, and all of us were broke, so we had to split the taxi fare, because it was not cheap to take a taxi ride. Let's just say that, because it's such a small town, so they don't have that many cabs out there. But anyways, yeah, so I was in Monterey for a little over a year learning Russian. I ended up learning Russian because I am a native Spanish speaker. I chose not to, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what full boxes I want to use. I chose not to learn Spanish because I already knew Spanish, and I thought it was a little bit of a cop-out if I decided to learn Spanish. So I am going to do my boxes, like this. And this setup does take a little bit of learning how to work with this setup, because you don't have the lines like the Erin Condren, where you used to have like the lines kind of preset out for you, so you know where you put your header. So I basically put all my headers here on top, and then I kind of work you'll see what I'm talking about. I kind of like work around and use the full boxes to kind of position where my headers are going to go. So it takes a little bit of figuring out, but once you get it, I really do like this planner paper. I like this planner, and it was a really nice alternative to the Erin Condren. So I think I'm going to use the yellow down here and then the pink. No, I'm going to use the pink on the bottom and then the yellow. Anyways, back to Monterey. Yeah, so I learned Russian because I could just take the DLPT, which is like the test that you take to see how proficient you are in a language. I could just take the DLPT for Spanish and not have to, you know, and not have to worry about it. So I'm going to use this ruler to kind of line up my other headers. So yeah, I learned Russian. It was about a year to learn Russian to become, you know, proficient, like a native speaker. All of my teachers were native speakers, but I'm not really going to get too into, you know, my training because, you know, some of it we're not really supposed to talk about. So I did work in the Intel community, so I can't really talk about my job either because, again, we're not really supposed to talk about. It was all classified, so I can't really talk about it. Oh no, I got some stuff on my planner. I guess there's some stuff on that ruler. I should probably wipe down my ruler before I use it again. But anyways, yeah, it took me about a year to learn Russian. And Monterey is absolutely beautiful. It's like this gorgeous little small beach town. You have like Cannery Row. You have Big Sur, which are these gorgeous like cliffside. It's like there's like a big golf course there, so a lot of people go to Big Sur for like the golf competitions, and I don't know, it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I do miss my time there. And it's one of those things, one of those places that made me really consider whether or not I wanted to live in California, because it's such like a sleepy little town. At least it used to be when I was living there. The weather is really nice, and you know, it's the beach was just, I could see the beach from my barracks room window, and it was just a beautiful place. But I really wouldn't move to California because it's just so expensive out there. I mean, it is expensive in Maryland, but it's even more. If Maryland's expensive and California is even more expensive. So I really enjoyed my time in California. I learned a lot. I really liked the culture there. One of my favorite things about Monterey, honestly, was the farmers market. There's lots of farmers markets in California. I used to drive, like on the drive to San Jose, there were like fresh artichoke farms, fresh strawberry fields, and I used to go and pick up these strawberries that were just huge, and you can just eat them fresh. It was just so good. But every week on like a Tuesday in Monterey, they used to have a farmer's market where they would close down Main Street, which, you know, like I said, it's a small town, so there's only really like 10 streets in the entire town. But they would close down Main Street and have a farmer's market there. And oh my God, there's a place that used to make like fresh root beer. Like they used to make their own root beer, and I freaking love that place. Of course, you had all of the like fresh produce, so that they did have a farm out there that used to bring strawberries. They would have like food vendors there. There was like a crepe place. It was just a really nice memory. So yeah, after my year in California, a little over a year in California, I came to Maryland, which, you know, I was kind of disappointed in because I joined out of Maryland. I am originally from Maryland, and I joined out of Fort Meade. So I went through and processed into the military out of Fort Meade. And they sent me right back to the place where I had joined the military. You know, I had joined the military. One of the reasons I had joined the military was to see the world. Another reason, you know, is obviously the GI Bill. But I joined the military, and they sent me right back to Fort Meade. And I was kind of annoyed because I wanted to go to other places, but unfortunately you are stationed wherever your language designates for you to be stationed. So I was stationed in Fort Meade. It was kind of nice because I was able to come back and be near my family in a sense. But I like living near my family, but sometimes I just kind of need to get away from them. Being in California for over a year, I really realized that. And, you know, when I came back to Maryland, I saw that I needed a little bit more space and distance because I do come from a Hispanic family, a pretty big family, and we're very, very close. We have like we used to have cookouts like every single weekend and things like that. A lot of my family, my parents and my sisters have since moved to Florida, but I still have, you know, my aunts and cousins and stuff still in the area. So it is nice because I do spend like Thanksgiving with them and all that fun stuff. But I really kind of wanted, or I realized that I wanted my space. So that is one of the nice things that my military experience kind of showed me, is that, you know, I really could be independent, and it's just more of who I am. I am more of an independent person, and it gave me that. The military gave me the ability to really become fully independent and not have to rely on my parents, not have to rely on my family, except for like emotional support and stuff like that. So yeah, I was stationed in Maryland pretty much for the rest of my career. And I met my husband here in Maryland. So he was working for the government already. And yeah, we just stayed here. So I still live in Maryland. I really enjoy the area. I enjoy how close I am to DC. DC is about a 45 minute drive from me. Baltimore is like a half an hour drive for me. Annapolis, another, you know, the capital, another big city, is about a 20-minute drive for me. We have a really large Renaissance festival in Annapolis every year. We have really nice, we have like the huge Maryland Fairgrounds. So there's like a big Maryland Fair every single year. There's lots of wineries and breweries. And then of course you have everything that the city offers you. So I enjoy this area. But yeah, back to my military experience. When I was in the military, I met a lot of my current friends. And one of the nice things about, at least for me, my experience, because everyone's experience in the military is going to be a little different. So my experience in the military, please remember that when I'm talking about this whole experience. My experience in the military is that I met a lot of people that I now consider my family. You really do develop a close connection, or you can develop a close connection with the people that you work with. And so I developed a really, really close connection with people that I now consider my brothers, my sisters, people that I know are going to be there for me no matter what. That is one of the great things about having joined the military. And for those of you who don't know, I was in the Navy. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I was in the Navy. So my husband was actually also former military. He wasn't military. He had already gotten out when I had met him. But what's funny is that when we got married, I was still active duty when we got married, so he actually became my military dependent. So we joke around that he was my Navy wife for just a little bit. So I don't know, I think that's kind of funny. But anyways, one of the nice things about my military experience is it really, like I said, gave me that independence, and I was able to stand on my own. So by the time I was 19, I was a fully independent working adult. I really enjoyed the independence that the military gave me. I really enjoyed the stability that the military gave me. I grew up in a very poor, I don't want to say very poor. I wasn't, you know, we weren't extremely poor, but for instance, there were plenty of winters where our heating was broken and we couldn't afford to fix the heating. So we would all kind of huddle together in a room, you know, to get some heat. And that was just something that I knew, well, obviously I knew I was going to strive to never be in that position, but that's kind of what the military gave me, was like peace of mind. So for instance, my family lost their house. They were evicted when I was active duty military, and I was able to support them when they had lost their house. And I never, like, it really made me think, like, I don't have to worry right now about losing my house. I don't have to worry about not being able to pay my electric bill. Like, it really did give me, like, that financial peace of mind, and I didn't have to stress about those things. I had to stress about a lot of other things, but I didn't have to stress about those things. If you have that opportunity to have a career, you know, that's basically going to guarantee that, I would say, you know, that's one of the perks of being in the military. I would say if you are interested in joining the military, I would find somebody who, try to reach out to somebody who has had that prior military experience and ask them questions. If you guys want to ask me questions in the comments, specifically if it's something that you are interested in doing, because I know I had an okay experience with my recruiter, and most people rely on their recruiters for military experience, but honestly, like, recruiters have to meet a quota, in my opinion. And I don't want to talk bad about recruiters, because I don't want to talk bad about, you know, my military, my servicemen, but there's a quota to meet. And I've heard some horror stories about recruiters and the misinformation they've given people just to join, because they're basically, oh, just join, and then you will, we'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out while you're in boot camp. And that's not the case. When you join the military, you definitely want to be as informed as possible and really know what you're getting into as much as you can. That's probably the biggest piece of advice that I could give anyone, is try to talk to someone other than your recruiter. Like, your recruiter is supposed to help you, is supposed to set you up, is supposed to give you all the information if you ask for it, but it's figuring out what to ask for. Yeah, that's kind of my little mini rant on recruiters. Just be mindful of that. Just be mindful that recruiters aren't necessarily looking out for your best interest. But my recruiter was great, honestly. She gave me as much information as she could, because unfortunately I did join, like I said, the intel community, and a lot of what my job was going to entail was she didn't know. Like, she didn't know, and there was no way of finding out. I wasn't going to learn until I successfully went through the training and qualified to become a linguist, and then they were going to tell me, okay, you've learned your language now let me tell you what your job is going to be. So I didn't technically learn what my job was going to be until about a year and a half into my military service. And it also took a long time for me to get my security clearance, because I was born in Peru. So the background check took quite a bit longer than most people. It took about a year and a half to successfully complete my background check, which was kind of funny because they reached out to everybody. I mean, they thoroughly investigate you. But I had some of my high school friends who were like, yeah, these like weird people came and like asked me about you and whether or not you're a trustworthy person, this and that. I'm like, yeah. Surprise, I joined the military and I'm getting a security clearance, and they did all this while I was in basic training, so I didn't really have time to warn some of my high school friends. I honestly didn't know they were going to be reaching out to everybody. I thought they were just going to be talking to my previous employers and my family and things like that, but no, they talked to everybody. So yeah, that was a fun process. Let me tell you the most uncomfortable thing. The most uncomfortable thing is going through a polygraph. Man, if you guys have ever done a polygraph or like a lie detector test, that is the most uncomfortable thing ever. You can't move, you can't breathe, it's the most uncomfortable thing ever, because they tell you that you have to act natural, breathe naturally and all this and that, but you're on this you're strapped into this chair that has a pad underneath you, and it detects all these movements and your heartbeat, and how can I act natural when I'm strapped up like a science experiment? It's just the most awkward and uncomfortable thing ever. I hated doing polygraphs, and I had to do them every 5 years or something like that. But yeah, they're just it's just annoying. It's the most annoying experience ever, but obviously it's a necessary evil. So these These stars are from Sophie Rose Paper, these overlays, and unfortunately Sophie Rose Paper shop is no longer open. I used to really like her stickers. I really liked the quality of her paper. It was like this really nice premium matte. I really like her foiling, so unfortunately she's no longer open, which really makes me sad. So let's see. Sorry if you see me leaning over here and you see my lovely little braids. So I do have this bottom washi overlay from Girl Boss Anna, and it is this pretty little confetti star foil which matches the confetti header overlay. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I don't know what else to talk about. Military experience. Yeah, I think I've said what I needed to say regarding my military experience. It's definitely something that is not for everybody, but I honestly don't regret my military experience at all. I really, really enjoyed my experience, even though I had some pretty tough times. I used to work 12-hour shifts. I think that was probably the hardest thing on my body, was the shift work. I used to work these 12-hour shifts where I would work for 4 days. So I would be on for 2 days. I would get off that day, go home, and then I would have to work a mid shift the following day. So say I got off on a Monday night at like 7 p.m. I would have to go into work at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. And then I would work 2 mid shifts and I would get off at 7 a.m. So I would go Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, Wednesday night to Thursday morning, and I would be off for then 3.5 days because I would have to go back to a day shift the next in 3.5 days. That schedule really destroyed my sleeping schedule. A lot of people get insomnia from that crazy shift schedule, but especially that schedule. There were all types of crazy rotating schedules, but mine was 2 days on, 2 days off. Or I'm sorry, two days, 2 mids, and then 3 or basically 4 days off. So honestly, that was absolutely terrible. Most people were on that for a couple of months. I, at one point, had worked shift work for a straight year, and it was extremely hard on my body, extremely hard on my mental health, but that is one thing that, unfortunately, the military still isn't, still doesn't, I want to say, take things as seriously, and is mental health. And I kind of wish I had paid attention to it a little bit more when I was active duty military, because it's just something that needs to be addressed. More people need to talk about, more people need to be like okay with the fact that, you know, sometimes you're just not okay. Sometimes you need to work through things, and especially when you're in such a stressful, you have such a stressful job, you know, mental health awareness is just, it's just extremely important. And so that is one regret I do have while I was in the military. It's just, I just didn't take care of myself as well as I should have. It was hard being a female in the military. The Russian community, the group of people that were Russian linguists, was already really small, and then on top of that, being a female in the Russian community was even smaller. So being a female in the military, unfortunately, sometimes when you're dealing with things, there's this mentality that you just kind of have to get over it, that you just kind of have to like toughen up and figure it out and, you know, move on. And I did that a lot. So I had a lot of physical injuries as well with dealing with a lot of my mental health. and I just didn't take care of myself. And because of that, I am now suffering the consequences. Because of that, I am now dealing with things like a herniated disc and all these body aches and body pains. And I'm having to figure out how, like, therapy and all this stuff. And because of that, I couldn't handle stress, and I got shingles right after my 30th birthday. So, you know, that is one of the negatives about being in the military, and then on top of that, being a female in the military. So, all right, so my base is laid down, so I'm ready to go into my day-by-day planning. So I think I am going to zoom you guys in so that we can go in day by day and lay down the stickers. So let's go ahead and zoom you guys in. So what do you guys think so far? What do you think of this kit? I'm really liking this kit. I'm really liking the colors of this kit, but you know, we'll see how it works out. So Monday, I have a new hire orientation. So I am officially starting my new job as a teacher, and thankfully my district, I guess I could say. I still have to get used to like all the lingo, all the talk, so to speak, the teacher talk. I have to get used to all that. So thankfully my school is basically doing a virtual school year for the first semester. God, there's just so many boxes. There's so many boxes I can choose from. I don't know which one to do. So I think I'm going to use one of these smaller boxes here, and maybe I'll use this purple one. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use this purple one. So we are doing a virtual school year. Unfortunately, because I haven't processed in yet, I don't really have all of the details for, you know, what's going to be happening for the new school year. Ooh, where are my tweezers, guys? I'm just everywhere. I'm just everywhere at this plan with me, so please excuse the craziness. But yeah, so I won't have the full details until I go in and I do the processing, which, like I said, is on Monday at 10 in the morning. Unfortunately, it is an in-person processing, but you know, that's understandable because I think I'm gonna do this little book stack here. That's understandable because I have to do all these, you know, all this like official paperwork. I have to get a few things notarized, a few of my like forms notarized. All right, so moving on to Monday afternoon. That's all I really have planned. I am gonna go ahead and put a little sticker for my workout. I'm not sure which workout I'm going to be doing on Monday. I think I'm going to use one of these fancy labels. This is a fancy label. So I'm going to use one of these to mark my workout on Monday. Unfortunately, they stopped doing the yoga basics. It was kind of my favorite thing to do. Yeah, so I'm really sad that they stopped doing the yoga basics at my my yoga place, the yoga studio that I go. And by the way, the yoga studio that I'm going to does have like virtual, all of the classes are virtual, so that's really, really nice. But on Monday, I pretty much do my own like weight training thing, and I didn't work out all this week though. I need to get back into that. I mean, I did a little bit of a workout where I did some like dancing and stuff like that, so I got in some cardio, but yeah, I really need to get better about the workouts. So Tuesday. Let's see. I don't have anything planned for Tuesday, so Tuesday is probably going to be my filming day, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of studying on Tuesday. So I think this yellow label here, and I'm gonna mark filming on Tuesday and then studying. So I'm gonna do this little icon here, and this sampler is from like a Scribble Prints Co. like wiggle. And what's my workout for Tuesday? So Tuesday's workout is restorative yoga, and that's going to be at 4:30. So again, I'm going to use a little label, but I think I'm going to use another fancy label, and I'm going to use a patterned one. And then I will put this for my study time. So I'm going to study, and then I am going to, I should have used the books for that studying. What am I going to use for studying now? What am I going to use for studying now? I'll use this little coffee cup for studying. And then I will use a little bow paper clip from Inky and the Brain to mark my yoga workout. So that's really it for Tuesday. Yeah, I don't have, right now I don't have anything planned on Tuesday. So moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, I have a meeting with the teachers union. So that is going to be very interesting. I have never been part of a union, so this is going to be a brand new concept for me, and they are having like a new member meeting thing on Tuesday. Maybe you should use like a larger box, or Wednesday I should say. So that'll be interesting, and it's going to be on Zoom, I believe the meeting's going to be on Zoom. So I'm actually going to do this little like foam thing. I never really get to use this icon. So this is the foam thing for the meeting on Wednesday, and then it's at 11:30, and then I do have yoga on Wednesday, and I should have done yoga first because the yoga is actually at 9:30. Whatever, we'll just leave it. I'm probably going to, sorry, I'm moving the plan around. I'm probably going to study in the afternoon after getting all that stuff done, because I do have my praxis, my chemistry praxis on Saturday. All right, so moving on now to Thursday. So Thursday morning, I have my therapy session at 11 in the morning. So I'm going to mark that first. So yeah, it had actually been a while since I had been to therapy. I was going to therapy every 2 weeks, and then the pandemic hit, and you guys, my mental health took a turn for the worse. I actually started on antidepressants. I think I'm gonna use this little face mask to mark therapy. But there were some signs that I was dealing with depression, that my anxiety had gotten so bad that it had triggered some depression. And my therapist and I had been talking about starting on medication management for it, and then the pandemic hit, and I know a lot of people are dealing with mental health right now, but it just in general, like this pandemic has triggered a lot of mental health issues for people. But when you are quite literally in the middle of spiraling out of control, it just wasn't pretty. Let's just say that, you guys, it wasn't pretty. But the antidepressants basically had a pretty adverse side effect. I decided to stop them. I had been on them for about two and a half months, and it was causing more issues than it was helping. I was on Paxil, and Paxil has some crazy side effects, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, it affected my appetite. It affected my stomach. My stomach was so upset all the time. I already suffer from migraines and headaches, and it was just triggering a migraine every single day. It was just absolutely horrible for me. Like, it just didn't do well for me. And then it caused more depression. Like, I was sleeping all the time. It wasn't working. I wasn't myself. I don't know if you guys noticed, like, I hadn't posted any videos for quite a bit. I didn't want to do the things that typically bring me joy. It just wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a good time. So I am back in therapy. My therapist was like, I hadn't heard from you in a while, and it was, I wanted to reach out, and she kind of regretted not reaching out to me, but we're talking again. I've been going back to her. This is now my third session that I've started back up with her. So things are going well. I'm starting to feel like myself again. I don't really feel 100% since stopping the medication. I had to give my body some time to detox, but yeah, like that was just, it was not good, you guys. So Thursday I marked therapy. I also marked my workout, my yoga workout, and Friday I also have gentle yoga, and I'm gonna mark that first because gentle yoga is at noon. And I am definitely going to need some yoga this week because I take my practice on Friday, and that is stressing me out like there is no tomorrow, you guys. So I'm taking my the first part of the praxis, so like the pedagogy praxis on Saturday and this Saturday. So tomorrow I'm currently filming this on Friday. So filming this on Friday. So Saturday the 8th is when I take my pedagogy portion of the praxis, and it's gonna be weird because there's a proctor, and the proctor has to like watch you through your camera. I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I'll let you guys know on the next plan with me how my pedagogy one went. I had scheduled them a week apart, but I take the chemistry one on Saturday. So Friday, that's all I really have marked, or all I'm really doing on Friday. And I'm just gonna use like a really large box to mark that I have to study like a mad woman, because I do. Yeah, the chemistry praxis, man, is that's gonna be one hell of a ride, let me tell you that. I'm probably gonna have a game night on Friday, but I'm not gonna mark it. Maybe I'll just put down a box. Yeah, so I'll just put like this box. I don't know what I'm gonna mark here on Friday. Saturday, I have my praxis, and that is not until the afternoon. But I may work out. I don't know. Maybe I'll skip my workout. I'll see. I may work out or do some like meditation in the morning. But I'm going to use one of these colorful boxes to mark praxis. I think I'm going to use this one to mark my praxis exam. So that is at 2 p.m. So it gives me enough time to wake up and study for just a little bit, set everything up, and I'll be good to go. So that is on Saturday. I don't really have anything else for Saturday. So let's move on to Sunday. So Sunday, I'm pretty much just doing a lot of like self-care. So I'm gonna first start off with marking like planning. So this is like my planning planning with my daily planner, just to kind of prep myself. I like doing all my prepping for the next week on Sunday. So like all my meal planning, all of that fun stuff, I do that on Sunday. So I have these from Hello Petite paper in glossy, and you know what? Even though they have little ears on them, I'm still gonna use them because I think they're cute. This one that says planning time, mark something else there. I'll use some like thicker. Yeah, so I'm gonna use these washi strips here to use as a background. I laid that down kind of crooked. Man, you guys, I am all over the place today. All over the place. I woke up kind of early because I just was having some really bad nightmares. You guys, I can't lay this sticker down straight to save my life. There we go. But yeah, I was having some really bad nightmares, and I woke up and I just couldn't really go back to sleep. So I decided just to get up. All right, that's cute. That's cute. All right, planning time. Planning time. Now what do I mark up here? I don't know what to mark up here now. Ugh, I'm all over the place. Oh, cat litter. I do have to clean my cat litter. I have this little paw thingy, so I'm gonna put cat litter up here. I do have to clean my cat litter on Sunday. I normally clean it on Wednesday and Sundays. So I'm gonna go back and mark on Wednesday that I have to clean my kitty litter too. I don't know what else to mark on Sunday. I'm just gonna leave it blank. I know that's kind of uneventful, but you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and zoom out and show you guys what the finished spread looks like. Alright guys, so here's what the finished spread looks like. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a wiggle so you can see that lovely silver foil. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the chattiness of this video. Leave a comment down below of anything you would like for me to talk about during the next plan with me. I do plan on bringing the series back and starting to post my weekly plan with me's every Sunday. So if you're interested in watching these videos and you would like to give me a topic or ask me any questions for me to answer, leave it down below in the comment section. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.